tight squeeze. So yeah, just come around here. And I'm gonna do my best to make this as conversational as humanly possible with all the cameras and everything. And so you can just take a seat right there, sir. Get all set up. Have you ever done interviews or anything?
I have. Yeah, the last one I gave was pretty casual too, but I saw it later and I'm like, man, that sucks.
Okay, I hope this will be a little bit better. All right, Mr. Michael, can I get your full name, please?
Michael L. Barnes.
Very good. Okay, and we're just going to jump right into this. Can you just give me a brief, just kind of idea of what your experience was like with this?
Well, anyone that comes here, of course, is somewhat traumatic. It can be. It depends on whether or not you're arriving via police car or ambulance or family member. For me, it was a an eye opener, if you will. It was. You're going to edit this, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I promise. Okay. Take your time. Yeah.
It was a whole moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was really a whole moment when I got here.
What specifically made it that moment? Was it just everything was real, or you didn't?
Well, I spent a couple of days detoxing at BAMC.
Okay.
So I'm an alcoholic. And I guess I was still out of it when I got here. I had, besides the alcoholism and things just not going right in my life, I had contemplated suicide. And it really scared my wife and some of my friends. And so when I got to BAMC and the detox part, talked to a doctor, and he said I can make it hard, or I can make it easy.
Right.
So you either self-admit or you're being admitted.
Okay.
So I chose to self-admit. He said, you'll like that a lot better. I had no idea what he was talking about, of course. And then a few hours later, via ambulance, I arrived here.
Yeah.
So it's all dramatic. I mean, I'm in an ambulance, and I think the IVs were unhooked at that time. The injections and stuff were unhooked at that time. But so they got me out, and they took me to the first room here for admitting, I guess.
Yes.
And that was the beginning of the moment.
Yeah.
But that arrival, I mean, the first things that went through my head was like, what the hell have you done? What are you doing here?
You're talking to yourself like
right.
sometime.
Yeah. I mean, and I was like, I don't belong here. This is, surely I'm not that bad. Surely. But I went through the process, and it was the evening hour, so they gave me a room, and I was thankful for that. And right about the time I started to nod off to sleep, they came and got me and moved me to the Victory unit in the back, because I'm a veteran.
Thank you for your service.
Yeah.
Truly.
That was a blessing. Oh my gosh. But so that's why it was kind of traumatic. I don't remember a whole lot after that.
Right.
To be honest with you, not from that night.
In Victory, yeah, like you're kind of more in your element. You're with individuals, that you see eye to eye with more, and made it a little bit more easier.
It did.
Process.
It did. Once they explained that to me, that I didn't know it existed. To be honest with you, I'm actually grateful that this is happening today, because I did 27 years in the Army. I never did this unit was here.
Really?
I would have come here a long time ago.
Oh wow.
Or sent some of my soldiers here. If I'd known that was available. I really didn't know. scared,
Okay.
ashamed. The shame still gets to me. It's been over a year. The shame.
So shame,
I think.
yeah, is the main one. So that was the frame of reference when he first got here, and so now, with about 6 months later, what are you feeling right now?
I no longer feel shame, if you will. I have regular therapy. The VA hooked me up with some regular therapy for my PTSD, and still alcohol free. It's not
Congrats.
But I can't say I'm otherwise free. Cannabis is as an alternative. Alcohol almost killed me. I mean, literally almost killed me. It was actually my second detox. The first one I stayed in BAMC. The first one was well over a year ago. I stayed in BAMC for about 18 days, I guess. And this time, only 3 or 4 days till the blood levels normalized, and then they shipped me over here. But not so much shame as a little guilt that I couldn't control it myself. You know, I mean, we all think we can.
Yeah.
That's the first thing they teach you in alcoholism is that you can't control it. The alcohol controls you. And I let that happen. And I'm better than that. I mean, that's the way I have lived my life since I left home at 17 years old. My whole goal in life was to succeed and do good things and not just be profitable, but be the best in my field. That's the best if I could.
Yeah.
And I succeeded in that, which really takes me. I should write my own book. People tell me, and I actually am. Right.
That's great. Yes.
But yeah, I succeeded in everything until that alcohol just ripped me apart. I was more disappointed in myself than anything. I didn't even think about the system. It was just about whether, my own self-control. Yeah. I was disappointed in that. Still disappointed.
Yeah, it's a work in progress.
Yeah. I think one of the biggest things that helped was the fact that victory exists anyway. Because of what you stated earlier, the similarities in training and mission in life and the whole, military people stick together. Traumas, we're our own little fraternity. It doesn't matter, Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. We all make fun of one another, but it's still a brotherhood. If you look at the statistics, less than 1% of American able-bodied people actually join the military and serve.
Yeah.
And so, those are pretty interesting statistics. Less than 1% of that 1% do 20 years.
It takes a special person.
Yeah. And I know a lot of them. It's wild.
You know a lot of that 1%?
Yeah, I know a lot of 1%ers. It's really weird. Yeah, so when you get up in the morning, you do your personal hygiene, you got breakfast, you got classes. Their staff is just amazing. They're so friendly. All the way down to military. There's probably very few rooms, if you go back there right now and run an inspection, very few rooms that you would have to worry about because they're military.
Yes.
We make our beds, we put our clothes away.
You got the stuff, you got the respect.
Yeah. And the cleaning staff, I would joke around with the cleaning staff all the time. Like, you don't need to clean in here, it's all good.
They probably appreciated that.
Yeah. So, but everyone, the cleaning staff, the janitors, the cooks, amazing. It's just amazing people. And I'm not sure I would have gotten that in an alternate environment. When the doctor said, it made me think back when he said, I can make it harder, I can make it easy. voluntarily commit or involuntarily commit. So I found out later the involuntary commit was to a VA facility that does not have a very high reputation in San Antonio. Yeah, it's actually called the prison. The continued treatment after that 28 days, when you get out of here, that's imperative. It's extremely imperative. And I was like, there are patients here in Heckman, alumni, that are from Alaska, from Germany, from Europe, all over. A person from Hawaii, state military active duty station in Hawaii, and they send them here. That's saying a lot.
Yeah, I didn't know that. Wow.
And I think it's really cool that the commanders of mental health communities, wherever those people are stationed, are aware of what this place offers to get them in. That's really cool, because I didn't know it. But when you're with, the first thing you feel is that shame. You know, you're still detoxing. You're like, what the hell am I doing here? And then, well, everybody's got short hair.
Right.
Talk a little bit. You know, the first couple of days, you don't talk to anybody. Maybe I didn't. But I was so bad off that I couldn't even hold my tray at mealtime. I had the shakes. And one of them helped me with my tray that morning. And I think it was withdrawal symptoms. It was the DTs. Yeah. So you open up just a little bit, and you realize everybody here is military. This is great. This is great, because we've all experienced something. A good majority, not all, but I would have to say a majority had either been, and some of them are older, some of them been in Vietnam. And now that they know about this place, they come back. Which is good.
Yes.
Because it's here. And they know that they can get help here. So the first couple of days I just listened and then realized, I'm amongst friends here. There's a weight room. The schedule's got gym time on it. We all go to the gym and play basketball or volleyball. Play some really cutthroat volleyball. and it was good. It was good for me. Because that's one of the things that I miss out on, I guess, purposely in my own psyche. I've kind of drawn inward, introverted a little bit, which I was never introverted. Because of the shame and the guilt. I'm trying to get my son in here bad. My son's a Marine. I ran into him in Kuwait.
You ran into your son?
His Marine unit was coming in, and I was on my way out on that tour.
Wow, what was that like to see him?
It was weird. It was a little weird. I couldn't talk to him much because they had formation and they were doing stuff, but you got a hey and a hug, and that was about it.
What did they do?
Listen. A lot of listening. Now there's organized program. It's an organized program, and it's meant to work with however many, 15, 20 people that are in the group. Everything's voluntary. You don't have to go. But of course you're encouraged to go. It's like, well, why am I here if I'm not going to go to the sessions? But then there's one right after the other, right after the other.
Yeah, it's rigorous.
And that's good too, because you don't want your mind wandering too much.
Right, that's what they want. They want you constantly engaged.
Yes. But everybody asks you how you doing. You get a certain amount of time with the doctor. The handouts. Christine is.
I've heard her name before.
She's a sweetheart.
I've heard a lot of good things about her.
Yeah. But she's lived it. She lives it.
That's it.
I don't think she would mind in this setting me sharing that she's 30 years.
Yeah.
Sober.
Oh, that's great. Yeah. That's the best person.
I want to say 30 years now. I'm hoping they get that wrong, but yeah, that's a testament. And she's not military, no former military or anything. And she lived a different aspect of what substance abuse and PTSD and things can do. Because you can have PTSD. You don't have to be in the military to have PTSD. I mean, there's a lot of different PTSDs out there. There's a lot of different PTSDs in victory unit. Some are combat related. They have to be open to what everybody is really kind of thinking and what they're doing, what they're going through. As people rotate, I mean, that's a phenomenal way. I don't know how they keep up with the patients, and I'm sure they have their briefings and stuff, and they remember he keeps trying to get Percocet or whatever, and they watch him.
Right. Keep an eye on that one. You don't want
to. Or, vice versa, like he hasn't taken his meds, and in over 12 hours, we need to get him to take his meds.
This was someone on the floor?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So you kind of like, you keep an eye out for each other? You got each other's backs.
Mm-hmm.
Different than, overseas.
Yeah, which is really cool, because I don't know, I've never been in any other environment. It's my only exposure, but I would not think that I would give two craps about what my neighbor took his meds or not. Wow. Unless he was physically bothering me.
And you found yourself like kind of caring, or?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's in our nature anyway.
There you go.
It really is, and that's one of the things that makes victory so important. Because no matter what they're in there for, you don't even know most. I didn't know half of why they were there unless they wanted to share, and it came out in a meeting or a session, and talking about it, of course, makes things better. And they can all get you to talk. They can get you to talk. If you don't talk, they have handouts.
They figure one way or another they're gonna get you to say something.
It's like a stack of handouts when you leave here, but they're motivators, if you will. And even if you find yourself not participating 100% in the session that day or that hour, you can go back and look at those notes later, handouts, and it's like, I should have probably said something about that, or that bothers me too, but I didn't want to say anything. It's hard to get that ice broken.
Oh, yeah.
First.
The subject matter that you're dealing with, you don't know if you want to share that.
No.
Yeah.
No, I don't. The staff was just, they were right on cue all the time. Everything occurred on time. I mean, they're scheduled, regimented, and we like that. We military, we like. I mean, if you're going to start at 6 o'clock, I mean, I stood outside for 10 minutes before I walked in the door. I'm going to be early. I think for me, the fact that we had this meeting here on Thursday nights is key for me.
Gotcha.
As I said earlier, I wasn't part of that normal 28-day program that they have, so I was given the opportunity to go to an outpatient clinic for several weeks, 6 weeks or whatever that is. I wasn't given that opportunity, but most are. I think had that meeting on Thursday nights probably helped me open up in the classroom more. When you're in an environment where, okay, now we want to hear your story. And back there you can tell it if you want to. You don't have to. Many don't. You don't get the whole story.
Mm-hmm.
But after 4 weeks or so coming up here on Thursday nights, and people sharing their stories, and that's a great thing about AA. And I don't know if the same things exist for NA, Narcotics Anonymous, and others, but having that meeting allows us to befriend other people I would have never met. None of them right now were patients with me, but they come back every Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
And we kind of getting to know one another. and know, what their issues were and what our issues were. And that's the whole purpose is we listen to new patients every Thursday night. Not that we're qualified to do anything except say, yeah, we've been there.
Yeah.
Yeah. And for a lot of people it is. That's what this is how I came in here that night. And we talk a lot about that.
Yeah.
Because some people come in handcuffs. And that's not good. And thank goodness that didn't happen to me, but other, and that's probably one of the things to answer the question, come back to the questions. My takeaway was the Thursday night meetings.
Yeah.
Really, to continue.
Are very important.
Yeah. And it's always Thursday nights.
Yeah.
I mean, so you know what it's going to be, you know where it's going to be. Christina's going to be here. I know she can't think she's only missed one more year. And she's had her own personal tragedies and deaths in the family and things like that. But she comes every Thursday.
That's you got to respect that commitment.
She's dedicated. She really, really is. That's probably the best thing. But all the handouts, we joke a lot about the handouts. I think one of the things that really helped, believe it or not, is during one of the sessions, I asked about music, because I identify with music a lot. Yeah. And I guess one song that I had been listening to like repeatedly, and there's some kind of syndrome attached to that, I'm sure, where you listen to the same song over and over again for hours, was Dax and Darius Rucker.
I gotta look that up.
Yeah.
And then, so you would listen to this song and...
What It's Like to Be a Man.
Okay.
That's the name of the song. Yeah.
And this song, this would resonate with you, or what was... Okay.
Yeah.
And what would it be, like, would it make you hold yourself accountable, or what would it instill?
Well, I liked to listen to it when I was drinking.
Okay.
And for whatever, it made me feel a little better. It's just about not understanding what people are going through, and you'll never really understand what men go through. You should listen to the song. It says a whole lot. I haven't.
Oh, you know what? I'm filming with my phone. I don't have it on me.
It's I can't hide myself. That's what it is. So it'll take a couple of minutes and
please.
Fine.
I'm definitely.
If I can get it to come like there it is.
This is it.
What it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Being a man is what you make it. You can't always live up to expectations. You try to please everybody while you struggle, so you fake it and end up out of balance, compromising situations. As a good man, do what he should, man. I'll give everything he has and do everything he could, man. You might find yourself feeling all alone inside a house you built that you don't recognize as home. And that's what my daddy told me, and I'll tell my son the same. Now that I'm older, I relate and I actually feel his pain. He never cried, he might have lied, but he did not complain. And he said, son, one day you'll have to do the same. I get emotional when I stop and think and I look around beyond the county lines of my small town. I think about all the men out there who feel like I do now, who are screaming on the inside but won't ever make a sound. I can't hide myself. I don't expect you to understand. I just hope I can explain what it's like to be a man. It's a lonely road, and they don't care about what you know. It's not about how you feel, but what you provide inside that home. Don't give up.
Wow. I've never heard that before.
No.
And the fact, like listening, hearing you talk, and then hearing everything that's in those lyrics, I can't imagine you not listening to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's incredibly sad. It's so true.
Yeah. And so I asked if I could play that during one of our sessions.
Yeah.
And the therapist picked up on that right away. And she asked others, and other people had songs that either drove them or gets them out of a hole for an hour, or makes them feel better, or makes them feel worse. Songs that resonate with them.
Yeah.
And so we spent a good hour and a half or so listening to music one day. So the staff is open to, obviously they have their curriculum and everything, but open to what the patient wants and knows will help them. So if we identify with music, and then a couple of days later, one of the therapists brought in a guitar.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
That's almost stems from.
And I tinker a little bit with the guitar, but one of the other patients was pretty good.
Yeah.
And that was what had made his month, being able to tinker with that guitar.
Yeah.
And just the fact that therapist brought that guitar in as her own, guitar, as far as I know. But it made a big difference.
Yeah.
You can sit there and put puzzles together all day, after sessions, or, watch more TV, and think about the day's sessions or what have you. But, when you have something that you can relate to in the evenings, while you're digesting all of these things that, you want to get better, you want to kick, whatever you're abusing, alcohol, drugs, or whatever at the time, and get your life back together. The music really, they're open to that. And I think they're playing the guitar at night, and just in genuine way, the staff opened up and listened.
As opposed to being so rigorous with what needs to be y'all's growth in the teaching methods, they're so willing to do something, an alternative.
Yeah. And I hope that doesn't get them in any trouble for break away from curriculum, but do it. Yes. Yesterday. Do it.
You believe in it.
Oh yeah.
Wholeheartedly.
Mm-hmm. I do. The atmosphere is friendly and inviting. I'll say friendly and inviting.
Yeah.
So we get you. I mean, if they had a marquee across their forehead, every one of them back there, we get you. Everybody has different levels. The fact that they've identified that military retirees and active duty are at a different level than your standard alcoholic or drug addict or mental patient that cuts themselves. That's amazing in and of itself. I think that they recognize that that's different and need their own ward. They need more of them.
Yeah,
they do. Again, hats off to all those different commanders around the world that know this place exists to send their troops. Some of them, but you can see how few there are.
Yeah.
I mean, you could fill up all of SABH with patients that need this help.
Yeah. Wow.
You could. They live with it.
Yeah. Or has there been any change?
Well, yeah, I'm sober. From alcohol.
There you go.
I have realized that and I always told myself this is, I'm really not an alcoholic. I can quit drinking anytime I want to. They all say that, right? I couldn't say that because I really didn't want to stop.
Mm-hmm.
But what I came to realize is the alcohol was killing me physically.
Yes.
Physically, when when I came in, when I got to BAMC, I had no magnesium and no potassium in my bloodstream.
Oh my God.
None.
And that was the
That's magnesium is the basis for digestion, bone growth, cell division. I mean,
I know about the lung growth.
Well, that probably exacerbated a little.
No, I trust you. I'm going to take your word for it, man. That's
and without those, you don't stand much chance of living very long.
wow.
Organs will begin to shut down, and if the first time wasn't enough for me, the second time sure was. It was like I realized, I'm killing myself. I thought about putting a bullet in my head, because I was at the point where I was lost. I really had nowhere left to go. I've done everything that I came to do,
Would you say you're not at that level?
I'm no longer at that level.
There. Okay.
Yeah, I'm no longer at that level.
That's great.
Not worrying about drinking because I know it's I might as well just drink Drano. I loved it.
Of course, yeah. We love everything that's bad for us. It's funny how that works.
Spaghetti.
Oh, yes.
But,
I'm Italian. Not you gonna tell me about that.
I realize that I do have a lot to live for.
Good.
And if nothing else, to live for 32 nights. To come here and it's my break. I haven't been able to find another AA group, or I have a therapist that the VA has gotten me. I'm not sure where that's going. I get more out of 30 nights here than I do going to my therapist that the VA is paying for.
I'm glad that you're able to find that you have found this, and it's become so impactful for you.
Yeah, it has.
The camaraderie.
So much that I really want to give back. And anyone that really knows me, says I'm stingy. But out for myself. But I have inquired, and I asked Christine to inquire if we were allowed. I can find the funding to put a guitar back there.
Wow.
For to be there all the time. I know there's some issues with guitar strings, versus shoestrings and other things in the mental health facility. But
man, so much for being stingy. It's so admirable.
Well, it is. I get a lot of peace out of mine, no matter how bad I play. And music, it does that for me. And I saw what it did for a couple of other patients too.
Yeah.
And so if I can give that back, I'd be happy to do that.
Good.
I still don't know if I'm allowed to do that.
Right.
Well, I can take. I brought truckloads of Cokes and drinks and snacks and different things like that.
That's great
for the guys. And just drop it at the back.
There you go. That's so great. Yeah, even like little things like that. I mean, the guitar is a lot, but then just making that effort to do that. I mean, even coming to see us, talking, helping us with this video.
You can get a good guitar for $300. I mean, that's not.
See, I didn't know that. I was thinking double. I was thinking about $600.
Well, it'd be a better guitar.
Right.
Well, yeah. I think it's money. I mean, it's just money.
This probably goes without being said, based off of what you've said already. But you would recommend our services to other
absolutely
people. Yeah,
absolutely. Yeah. And I have. I have passed the word to the VFW folks.
There you go.
Because we have at the VFW, and all the VFWs have them. They have what they call post-service officers that deal with your VA benefits, medical benefits. Did you get them? Are you not getting them? Access to a doctor and mental health.
Mm-hmm.
So September is Mental Health Month, or Suicide Prevention Month. Maybe it's both. And retirement community, military retirement community, VFWs, American Legions are all really big about trying to help wherever we can. So That's part of what we give back. If you come to me and you're looking for help, I'm going to tell you to call here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's so great to hear. I love it. It makes me feel proud to be able to work with this company and share the word. What did you learn about yourself through the treatment process here? Or did you learn anything specifically about yourself that you didn't know before you came into these doors?
Maybe a lot of things that I suppressed. There's some things that I didn't want to know. Have I changed? Probably. Yeah, I think so. My life is completely different now than what it was 2 years ago.
Yeah.
It's
And is that for the better?
well, no, it's one of the reasons I got in here. I retired from the military. I joined the civilian world,
I can't imagine that.
well, it's hard.
Being right.
It's hard. You don't know how many conversations I've had with people in the civilian community. It's like, Mike, this is not the military, dude. You can't talk to people that way. I was like, I'm just straight, direct, and to the point. Yeah. It's like, what do you mean I can't talk to you that way?
Right? That seems logical.
Seems logical to me. I'm kind of in the transition, which is one of the reasons that brought me in here. I kind of lost myself. I mean, who am I? What do I want to do? What am I supposed to be doing? It seems like I've already done everything.
Yeah.
And I didn't see much on the horizon, except hanging out at the VFW getting drunk. And then I kind of broke. So here I am. I'm not fixed yet, but
yeah. I
know where to turn.
Would you say specifically that this environment helped out with the healing process?
Absolutely. And given the feedback from the therapists and whatnot, they're just like, yeah, we get it, but you're going to think about this later. I guarantee.
And were they right?
Yeah. I do a lot of journaling. I've got my books. I'm writing my stories.
That was one thing Paul recommended, was to journal. So
yeah,
that's good.
And it makes you remember. Sometimes you don't want to remember.
Of course.
I would come back here tomorrow if I could get in a 28-day program.
Yeah.
And then do the after program. I would be back tomorrow.